welcome to Homestead Corner. I'm Ginny, and today I wanted to talk about 7 of the most valuable food items that you can put in your food storage. So there are so many things that we can put in our food storage, and I think it's really important to store the foods that you really like, especially those long-term staples, things like that. We want to make sure we have plenty of it. And over the years, hundreds of years ago, before currency was around, the food and many things were used as currency, and they will become more valuable in an SHTF situation than gold. They will be some of the most valuable commodities because they're not all things that we can just pick up at any time out in the wild. All of these food items can be stored indefinitely in your long-term food storage when stored properly. They are not going to go bad, any of them, and they will be a wonderful barter item and can be used for currency in an all-out collapse. And that's something that unfortunately we have to look at nowadays because things are just so chaotic and crazy. The cost of things are so expensive, and at some point something's going to break, and we've got to be prepared for that. So today my list is just 7 simple items that I think are the most valuable in your pantry because you can barter them for services and things that you may need. The number one thing on my list that absolutely everybody should have is seeds. Seeds are going to last a really long time when stored properly in your pantry, and they are worth so much because one little seed can produce quite a bit of food. And I think seeds are one of those things that a lot of people overlook, but your pantry should have a good supply. And you may not be growing things every day now, but in the future, in an SHTF situation, they can be the lifesaver for you and your family. And they also are a wonderful barter item. And number 2 on my list is salt. Salt is another one of those things that, I'm not going to be going out and digging it out of the yard or anything. It's going to be difficult to get a hold of because it comes from other places not around me and probably not around you either. So having a good supply of salt is really important. Making sure you have more than enough for your family. It can be used as a barter item because you can cure meats with it. You can do so many things. Salt is definitely one of the most valuable things you can have in your pantry. And number 3, sweeteners. None of those are grown around here. There are, sugar cane is grown in the South, and that may be something that you don't store a ton of because you can grow it. But up here in the northern states and many areas around the world, sugar is not able to be grown. Historically, sugar has been used for currency for centuries, and I think it is really important. People love a little bit of sweetener. It's a comfort thing, and not everybody uses sugar, but any of those sweeteners, definitely, your monk fruit, things like that, those can definitely be extremely valuable in an SHTF situation. Number 4, honey. Honey is one of those things that has been used for currency for centuries in many parts of the world. It is never going to go bad in your pantry. It's, as long as it's stored airtight, cool, dark, and dry, it is going to last indefinitely. They found honey thousands of years old that was still edible. You may have to warm it up to get the crystallization out of it because over time it will crystallize, especially if you store it in a cool area. But that's very easy to do with a little bit of warm water, and you can get that right back to its liquid form, or you can whip it and have a little honey whip, which is great also. But honey is extremely valuable, and many people love honey and will do just about anything to get their hands on it. So I think it's an amazing barter item and definitely extremely valuable in your pantry. Number 5, alcohol. Alcohol is one of those things. People are going to want to get things for their vices. People that like to have alcohol, it's great to calm the nerves, definitely. I'm not really a drinker, but I do store some alcohol because I think it's a wonderful barter item. Like to store it in smaller quantities and pints and things like that. Get the smaller bottles of it so I can easily trade it if I needed to, barter it for other things that I need, services, other items. But alcohol is definitely something people will be looking for when they can't find it at the store. And number 6 on my list is instant coffee. Instant coffee is freeze-dried coffee, and it will last indefinitely in your pantry. Cool, dark, and dry, just like everything else, and you want to keep it airtight, but it is going to last and last, and it makes quick, easy coffee. You don't have to worry about brewing it, just a little bit of hot water, and people, I'll tell you, I would go nuts without coffee. So it's definitely something that we keep a lot of in our pantry, and I think it's important to make sure that we've got it. Instant coffee is definitely not my favorite thing. I prefer fresh ground coffee, but in an emergency situation, I would do just about anything for some instant coffee. And number 7 on my list is cocoa. Cocoa is another one of those things. We love chocolate. Chocolate is wonderful to mix into so many different things, and it is really, really wonderful to have in the pantry. It makes great, easy snacks. Cocoa is not grown anywhere in North America. It is only grown in South America, and in a SHTF situation, trucking will stop, shipping will stop, things will not happen. We'll have to deal with what we have on hand. Having a good supply of cocoa will be wonderful for your family, for you, and it can be a wonderful barter item in those situations. And I think that we all need to look at different things that can be used as barter items. We want to make sure we've got all the things that we need, but eventually in a long-term situation, things are going to run out, and we've got to be prepared for that. And if we have got extra of these items, they make wonderful barter items. You want to be careful on things that you store for bartering, and bartering in general. In a long-term situation, bartering can be dangerous. You never want to go alone to meet someone, and you definitely want to be careful what you're doing. Having a group of people is definitely better, so you're more protected and more eyes on deck to see what's going on around you. You may go alone, but they may not come alone, and you may not see them. So making sure that you're prepared in those situations, and bartering with people that you know is definitely going to be a little bit more safe. But in a long-term, really bad collapse situation or long-term SHTF, we definitely want to keep our eyes peeled and pay attention to what's going on around us, and not just showing up all willy-nilly and not safe. We want to be extremely safe. And that's it for today. This is just a short list, but I think these food items are definitely the top items to have in your pantry and to have extras of, because not only are they going to help nourish your family and help you through hard times, they're also wonderful barter items so you can get the things that you need when your supply runs out. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope to see you next time. Bye.